Hello there, I'm Nicholas, and this is On Listening with Chi Rising Studio. Thank you for joining me today. Imagine a warm summer evening. The sun is setting, painting the sky in brilliant hues of orange and pink. You're sitting around a campfire with friends, the flames dancing, casting a warm glow on everyone's faces. There's laughter in the air, stories being shared, and a palpable sense of connection and joy. This scene embodies the essence of the fire element in TCM, the energy of summer, of warmth, of connection, and of joy. It's a force that lives within us all year round, governing our capacity for happiness, intimacy, and authentic self-expression. In nature, the fire element manifests as the peak of summer's heat and light. It's the sun at its zenith, the longest day of the year, the fullness of life in bloom. It's the crackling campfire that draws us together, the lightning that illuminates the night sky, the warmth that nurtures growth and abundance. Within our bodies, the fire element is primarily associated with the heart and small intestine, as well as the sanjiao, the triple burner. The heart, often referred to as the emperor of the organs in TCM, is seen as the seat of consciousness and spirit. It's not just a physical pump, but the home of our shen, our minds, our emotions, our capacity for connection and joy. Imagine for a moment that you're that campfire we visualized earlier. Your flames reach upward, providing warmth and light to those around you. This is the heart's energy, radiant, magnetic, drawing others towards its warmth. It's the part of us that loves, that connects, that finds joy in sharing ourselves with others. The small intestine, the heart's partner organ, plays a crucial role in this process too. Just as it separates nutrients from waste in our digestive system, on an energetic level, it helps us discern what to take in and what to let go of in our emotional and relational lives. It's about clarity, knowing what truly nourishes us and what doesn't. But the small intestine isn't alone in supporting the heart. The sanjiao, triple burner, helps regulate and distribute the body's energy, ensuring that our inner fire is neither too weak nor too intense. Together, all these aspects of the fire element govern our capacity for intimacy, joy, and authentic connection. They influence how we relate to others, how we express ourselves, and how we experience happiness and fulfillment in our lives. Think about a time when you felt truly heard by someone. Perhaps a friend listened to you without judgment as you shared something difficult. Or maybe a loved one paid close attention as you excitedly told them about something that brought you joy. How did that feel? The chances are you felt a sense of warmth, or of being seen and valued. That warmth, that connection, that's the fire element at work. Active listening is, in essence, an act of opening our hearts to another person. It's about being fully present, setting aside our own thoughts and judgments to truly hear and understand someone else. This kind of listening creates a space of safety and acceptance, allowing for deeper connection and understanding. When we listen in this way, we're not just hearing words, we're tuning into the emotions behind those words, the unspoken messages conveyed through tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language. We're creating a connection that goes beyond the surface level, tapping into the heart-to-heart communication that the fire element facilitates. When we think of the fire element, we can think of joy, and not just fleeting happiness, but a deep sense of contentment and fulfillment that comes from meaningful connection with ourselves, with others, and with life itself. When the fire element is in balance, we find it easier to experience and express joy. We are more open to intimacy and connection, more comfortable with vulnerability, more capable of authentic self-expression. However, when the fire element is out of balance, we might find ourselves struggling with relationships. We may feel disconnected, isolated, or have difficulty expressing our emotions. On the other hand, an excess of fire energy might manifest as being overly excitable, talking excessively without really listening, or being so focused on connection that we lose touch with our own needs and boundaries. The key is to cultivate a balanced fire element, to nurture our capacity for joy and connection whilst also respecting our need for solitude and self-reflection. This balance allows us to engage in deep, meaningful listening, both with others and with ourselves. As we continue to explore the fire element, let's delve a little bit deeper into how we can nurture this energy within ourselves and in our relationships. The fire element is all about connection, and one of the most profound ways we can connect is through listening, not just with our ears, but with our entire being. Imagine for a moment that you're sitting across from a close friend. As they speak, you notice a shift in your awareness. Your attention becomes focused, like a flame drawn towards oxygen. You're not just hearing their words, you're attuning to the subtle nuances of their voice, the flicker of emotions across their face, the energy behind their gestures. This is the fire element in action, igniting our capacity for deep, empathetic listening. In TCM, the heart, the organ associated with the fire element, is said to house the Shen, or spirit. When we listen with our entire self, we're essentially inviting the other person's Shen to connect with our own. It's a dance of energy, a meeting of spirits. This kind of listening creates a sacred space, a warm hearth, where authentic connection can flourish. But here's the thing about fire. It needs tending. Just as a physical fire requires the right balance of fuel, oxygen, and heat, our inner fire of connection needs nurturing. Sometimes we might find ourselves struggling to connect, our inner fire dampened by stress, fatigue, or emotional turmoil. Other times our fire might burn too intensely, leading us to dominate conversations or become overwhelmed by others' emotions. The art of balancing our fire element lies in cultivating presence. It's about showing up fully in our interactions, bringing our entire self to the table. When we're truly present, we naturally become more attuned to the subtle cues in conversation. The pauses, the unspoken words, the emotions beneath the surface. This presence is like adding kindling to our inner fire, allowing it to burn bright and steady. Curiosity is another powerful way to stoke the flames of connection. When we approach each interaction with genuine interest, we open ourselves to new perspectives, new stories, new ways of seeing the world. It's about letting go of our preconceptions and really listening to understand, not just to respond. This curious listening can transform even the most mundane conversation into an opportunity for meaningful connection. The fire element also governs our capacity for joy and laughter. Have you ever noticed how a good laugh can instantly create a sense of connection, even between strangers? That's the fire element at work, breaking down barriers and warming hearts. When we bring a spirit of playfulness and joy to our interactions, we create an environment where authentic communication can thrive. But nurturing fire isn't just about our interactions with others. It's also about listening to ourselves, tuning into our own inner fire. This means making time for activities that bring us joy and allowing our authentic selves to shine. This could be through creative expression, movement, time in nature, or simply sitting quietly and listening to the wisdom of our own heart. In our modern world, it's easy for our fire to become imbalanced. We may find ourselves constantly connected through technology, yet feeling deeply disconnected from others and ourselves. We sometimes rush through our days, never pausing to really listen to others or to our own inner voice. And this can lead to a sense of isolation, anxiety, or just cause a lack of joy in our lives. Rebalancing our fire element is about rekindling our capacity for genuine connection. It's about creating spaces in our lives for heart-to-heart conversations, for laughter, for sharing our truth. It's about learning to listen not just with our minds, but with our hearts. As we cultivate this presence in our lives, we can expect to start to notice changes in our relationships. Conversations becoming richer, more meaningful. We might find ourselves more attuned to the emotional undercurrents in our interactions, more able to empathize and understand. We may even discover a greater capacity for joy, for authentic self-expression, for deep and fulfilling connections with others and ourselves. But it's important to remember that, like any element, fire needs to be in balance with the others. Too much fire can lead to burnout or overwhelming emotions. Too little can leave us feeling cold and disconnected. The wisdom of TCM teaches us to seek harmony amongst all the elements within us. As we bring this moment to an end, I invite you to take a moment to check in with your own inner fire. How bright is it burning? Are there areas of your life where it needs tending? Perhaps there are relationships where you could bring more presence, more genuine listening, or maybe you might need to carve out more time for activities that ignite your joy and passion. The fire element reminds us that, at our core, we are beings of warmth and light. We have the capacity to connect deeply, to listen wholeheartedly, to experience profound joy. As you go about your day, see if you can bring a little more of this fiery presence into your interactions. Notice how it changes the quality of your connections, how it enhances your capacity for understanding and empathy. Next time, we'll explore the earth element, the energy of late summer, of nourishment and of grounding. We'll discover how this element can help us find stability and balance in our lives, and how it relates to our capacity for empathy and care. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, this is Nicholas. If you found value in this episode, please consider sharing it with a friend who might also find it interesting. Your support helps us continue to create this space for learning and growth. You can find out more about our studio and the podcast at chirising.studio,